Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stampin' 101 video. Today we are doing the Stampin' Up! Envelope punch board by We Are Memory Keepers. This is different than the one, slightly different than the one We Are Memory Keepers put out, being that it actually has the measurements for the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card. Let me just show you that right here. So we have the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch, which is different than the A2 card, which was 4 1/2 by 5 1/2. So that's still on there, but they did add on here the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So let me show you how to do this. It shows you right here, we're going to need a piece of paper that's measured 8 by 8, and we're going to score it 3 1/2. So let me show you how to do this. I've done a tutorial on this board already using the standard or the original We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board. This is the Stampin' Up! One, comes in the Stampin' Up! Awesome black and gray colors. And we're going to make an envelope. So I'm going to start off with a piece of 8 by 8 cardstock, and I'm lining my cardstock, or pattern paper really, at 3 1/2. So I'm setting that in there. I'm going to push this button right here to punch my little V corner. Going to take my bone folder and do my score line. Then we're going to turn our paper, line our score line up with this point of the board here. We're going to punch and score again. There's a groove that goes right down here for your scoring. So it goes from right inside, you take your bone folder, stick it right on side, and come right down. That's how you do your scoring. Again, we're going to punch, take our bone folder, stick it inside, and come right down the score line. We're going to turn it for the last punch and score mark, just like that. Now we can turn around our scoreboard and put our 4 corners of our paper inside the back side to do our rounded corners. So we're just rounding off the corners. Oops, I did not put that in there right. Let's try that again. There we go. Alright, so we have our corners rounded. We're going to fold in our pieces here. I think I'm going to go the opposite side than I planned. I'm going to leave the orange on the inside and keep the spider and the spider web on the outside. We're going to make sure our spider's going in the direction we want it to go. So we're going to fold in our sides, then fold up our bottom piece. I'm going to take some tape runner, just go along these two ends, and we have our envelope that now I can use to coordinate with my card that I made. And just so you can see, it does fit perfectly in A2 size card, and this one even has a nice little bow on it. So there we go. So another thing I thought, you know what really look cute on here? I have one sitting here. I have one of those decorative labels from the decorative label punch. I could just put this right in the center to write the person's name on it that I'm giving the card to. Just thought of that. Alright, so the inside of the card, if you were using a pattern paper that didn't have two-sided, I'm going to show you how to make a liner for the inside. I'm taking a piece of pattern paper this time, and we're going to cut this down to 7 3/4 by 7 3/4. This piece is actually going to make us 2 envelope liners. So we're going to put this in, marking at 3 1/2, and I'm not going to actually do my scoring. I'm only going to just make a faint score line just so when I turn my paper, I could see where to line it up with this. So I did my punch, and and I'm turning it around, lining up that faint score line that it created, which you might not be able to see. Doing another faint score line. Like I said, it's just so I can see where to line up my edge there. Gonna do another faint one on the bottom. I think that's right. It's hard to see with the bat there. So okay, so now I have a piece that looks like this. So it has a wider side and a shorter side. On the wider side, I'm going to punch the rounded corner And I'm going to do that on the other side too. And like I said, this is going to make 2 envelope liners. Now I shouldn't have used a pattern paper that has writing on it because it's not going to be lined up right inside the envelope, but that's okay. So I'm going to take the edge of the top and the bottom envelope sections and cut those off. So I'm cutting off just that little corner there. So I'm going to turn it around. I'm lining up this part right here, which you probably can't see. I'm lining up this part right here, this edge, and this edge. And I'm just chopping off that corner. And now I could take my piece that's now looks like this and cut it in half. So I'm just going to trim it close to in half as I can. And then I'm going to take my envelope. I don't need, so like I said, now we have 2 pieces here. We're going to take our piece that we cut to fit, stick it right inside, and then I'm going to lift this up. Well, actually what we'll do is we'll fold it first. Give it a good fold mark. And now I've got my envelope piece. We're just going to open up that flap, take our adhesive, making sure we're lined up as best we can, folding that down, and now we have a lined inside that matches our card. So that is how I created an envelope liner. The reason why I didn't do any score lines is because I didn't want to worry about, if I did score lines, this actually would have ended up being right to the point here, so I didn't want to do that. So I left it with no score lines, just did the faint line, and now I have a envelope liner that matches my card. So if you have any questions about the envelope punch board, you can go ahead and check it out on my blog. I have it listed in the description below of this video if you're on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I will catch everybody next time.